And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Nothing wrong with that. And
I want to switch gears if I can, Rip. We have to ask you while we have you on the show. What was it like working with the Poffo family?
Well, I was just so green, you know what I mean? And I got to work. Man, when I first went to Canada. They were running in the Maritimes with Emile Dupre's dad. So I ended up going up there in 78, 88, 90, and 1997. The last time I was up there, there was me and Scott Demore in the car. There was Edge, there was Christian, there was Bad News, and stuff. So, but Randy and them, they owned half the territory. And then Randy got me, he always took care of me. He got me booked for Nick Goulas. Lanny got me booked in Portland, Oregon for Don Owen, which I had a great time there. Then I come back and we started ICW. We started ICW. We had there's like 13 or 14 different TV markets. So we was knocking heads with Crockett, with Ron Fuller, with Jerry Jarrett, with Bob Geigel, with Vern Gagne, with the Old Sheik. We was in competition. They were Coke and we were Pepsi, and we worked harder than they did, but they were the smarter guys. We were all younger guys, and this was it was Randy, Lanny, Angelo, and then me and George Weingroff, and then Roop, Orton, and Garvin came in later. But they was the first ones. All of a sudden, they found out a promotion that you had to draw a whole lot to even just break even. So they thought Fuller was screwing them until they would come in and look at the books, and they'd bring the money back into town. They said, "Oh, we did real good with this and that, whatever, blah, blah, blah." I said, "Yeah, but at the end of the week, we're down $762. And that's paying the guys more than paying us." And then Angelo, he just wanted to wrestle and be with his boys all the time. So he bought the new ring truck and 2 diesel vans, and then we bought $30,000 of our own camera equipment because the TV stations were raising our rates because we were their top rated thing. And we do promos over there, and they'd charge us then to air the fucking tapes. Because years ago, airing the tapes was like an infomercial. You'd be paying $250 for this market. This one's only $180, but this one's $500 a week, and you had to pay that every week because without television, you weren't a star. And this was before cable TV, but when you were on TV, you were a star. But the established groups, they had the superior stations. The lower the station number, the stronger it was, and they'd have the solid TV time slots. Where we was on the WDRB or whatever, and they was changing it, and you had to get a TV guide thing to see when we was on TV. But we were wrestlers trying to learn promotion. So of course we didn't know the shortcuts. We're all these we call the promoters the den of thieves. Of course, we became in the den of thieves too, just like everybody else. But I learned a whole lot when I was there, and I was there for 4 years, and before I went back on the road. And then when I went back on the road, it's all who you know. So Ronnie Garvin got me booked for Bill Watts, and then I'd worked for Fuller a week before I went to Bill Watts's in Pensacola. So then I went and worked 11 months with him. And then Ole calls me out of the goddamn blue because the Road Warriors want to go to Minneapolis and work. So he had me and Ted Oates come into Atlanta, and then we were going to be the national tag team champions. So there was three sets of Hollywood blondes. It was me and Ted Oates. It was Steve Austin with Brian Pillman, and it was Buddy Roberts and I see his goddamn face, Jerry Brown. That's who it was years ago. And then, but I went all the territories routes, this and that. Then I got the break where I went to England, Austria, and Germany and met all those people. So that's how Regal got in. I got Regal a job. I got Max Payne a job. And then they got Fit Finley and Dave Taylor in. So all the English guys that I was in Europe with, now all of a sudden there wasn't the English guys on TV or nothing. Now they're nationwide stars. And Regal started working when he was about 14 or 15 years old. And we lived together in the caravans, and you can imagine the evil shit we did. But he's had a great fucking life. And he's got I don't know if it's one or two of his kids. They're in just like Fit Finley's kid. They're in the developmental
NXT
system. Yeah.
Remember the question was about the Poffos, Rip? Remember that?
Well,
Thanks.
well, I got to give you some backstory, yeah. But yeah.
And by the way, Vaughn, I just want to tell you, the more and more he speaks and the more names he's, I'm like, someone owes him something.
Yeah.
He's literally filled wrestling with some of the greatest wrestlers of all. I think there's something is owed. I'm sorry, Rip. I got to disagree with you, but go ahead.
Well, John Wooden taught all those great basketball players at UCLA when they were on fire, right?
Yeah, and John Wooden's a millionaire, so that is not a
but
comparison, right?
Yeah, I got to get my stuff from Dollar Tree, right?
Well, all I'm saying is, give the fucking guy respect. But go ahead.
But anyway, I left, and then Randy didn't know what he was going to do because we all left the territory and stuff. Me, Pez, Garvin, Roop, Orton, pretty much George Weingroff, pretty much everybody. And then so Randy called Jerry Jarrett, and then they was wanted to make some money now because we had done some stupid stuff. Instead of plugging our own towns, Randy was always challenging Jerry Lawler on TV, this and that. But then all of a sudden, then when they started fucking drawing where they had the TVs and we had the TVs, it was just some of the greatest houses more people. They didn't charge, it was $5 and $6 to get in, you know what I mean? Maybe $8 to get ringside or whatever like that. But no, Randy was Randy. What you see was what you get. And let's just say I have a lot of memories, good, bad, or whatever. But at one time we were best friends. I never seen anybody. He got me off my goddamn fucking ass. He got me to fucking pushing. We started in them fucking contests, and after the second one, he couldn't take me no more. I was just beating his ass. And I was not taking steroids, and he was taking steroids. So he'd hate me even more. But anyway.
At any point back in those days, did you look at him and think to yourself, my God, this guy is going to go somewhere. Somehow, this guy's going to go somewhere. Did you have any of those notions before he turned into what he turned into in this business?
Well, see, he was the greatest performer I'd ever been around. And usually on the trips, he'd have the Volkswagen Rabbit, and I'd be sitting on the passenger side. And he's just talking the whole time, and I'm taking notes. And he's talking about all this shit and how this booking's going to go, and what TV we're on. No, we had up to a 4-week delay on different TVs. How you'd bicycle the tape around. That is, if I was wrestling you, and we did this angle on TV, we could be doing that same angle on TV in different markets up for another month, which was great. But he had that all figured out, what TVs, what TV markets, who's booking with who. No, you're going to turn babyface in 3 more weeks in this market. So everything was, and he was just, Randy was National Honor Society guy. He was so smart. Then he was the minor league baseball player. And so he was just a great athlete.
Did you know he was going to be a star, Rip? Did you know he's going to be headlining with Hulk Hogan?
Mike, it's a good thing Vaughn is here to clean up this mess. Go on.
well, this is me every week. See, I can't remember.
I see what Vaughn's talking about now.
He knows his player, man. He knows his player. He knows how to keep him on track. It's all good.
Yeah. He'd say, answer the goddamn question. I said, I know I started, and I can't remember.
Did you know he was going to be a star, Rip? Did you know he was going to be a star?
Well, see, really,
I'm trying.
I did. There
you
was
know
nobody
Vaughn, Jimmy. You know Vaughn. I'm telling you that right now.
There was nobody I saw.
Trying. Go on.
There was nobody I saw that was any better. But when he went to WWE, then all of a sudden, see, we just called everything in the ring, and that's how I learned. Then all of a sudden, they said, "Oh, he scripted a match." I said, "Scripted a match? Not him." Mm-hmm. Hell, I was a greenhorn. He'd take me 40 minutes a night. But I guess he was doing that. So now he was like everybody else, and it sort of changed the fucking business where guys don't know how to fucking. When I said, "No, we're running these shows," no, you don't allow to get in the ring. Oh, hell no. No, I've never been in the ring before to go over through shit. I just fucking knew it. I knew what you do, what you couldn't do, what you needed to do, what you couldn't do. I'm going to make you look fucking great. We oversell each other, and the matches we're getting in, getting out, not getting hurt. Anyway,
here's an easier question for you. Was Lanny Poffo's penis as big as he claimed it was?
Hey, wait a minute. No, now, first of all, Lanny had this great flexibility.
Oh boy!
And whenever a new guy would come in, the very first thing he would do, he'd be sitting there.
No.
Now he did have above average length and width, a nice vein in there, and he was extremely flexible. But he would always bend down, and he would. It looked like he was sucking the worm, right?
Right.
What he was doing, he put the fingers around the tip of it, so it was just touching his fingers.
So like he's playing the flute, but it's an illusion. Okay, I understand. All right,
but the myth of Lanny Poffo's penis size is not as enormous as he claimed it to be.
No, it was way. It wasn't no Robert Fuller, put it that way.